It's an option seller's dream, I think you would agree, for all of our contracts to just expire worthless and we walk away with the premium and move on to different opportunities. Well, in today's video, I'm going to showing you guys a live trades that I've been doing on SoFi that have all expired worthless and my strategy for it. And if you drop a comment down below, you're going to get my special ebook called The Strike Zone, and this is going to show you how I pick my strike prices in a lot more depth with my cash secured puts. So just drop a comment down below. I'll send that to you completely, no strings attached. And while you're down there, I appreciate you hitting that like button and that subscribe button. And of course, I hope you're having a God blessed day. And of course, guys, everything we talk about on this channel is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Go do your own research on anything that we talk about here on this channel. But today, guys, we're going to be talking about how do we get more of our contracts to expire worthless, right? When we sell a put, we sell that call, in the back of our heads, we're always hoping, hey, our shares don't get called away, or our puts don't end up getting assigned, right? And what I ended up doing was primarily for the past couple months now, this is just in one of my accounts, is the results that I've been getting since really the beginning of December now. So about a month of data that I've been using on running the weekly wheel strategy on SoFi, okay? Now, I do have a lot more other positions in multiple accounts. This was kind of just like a test account that I've been using SoFi Invest for, actually. And I want to show you guys kind of how I've been playing this and how these things have been expiring worthless for me. So I know there's a couple other things kind of like mixed up in here, but I think you guys will get the point. All of these contracts so far have expired worthless for me. So let's kind of walk through it. So first and foremost, right, you need a volatile stock for this to work, right? And number two, you need it to be a stock that you genuinely don't care what happens in either direction. Meaning you don't care if you get assigned your covered calls and you have to lock in your premiums and your appreciation, and you don't have to care if you get assigned because you genuinely actually like the stock and you want to hold it long term. And this is kind of how I've been running it here with SoFi. Now, SoFi, I have my own reasons that I love the stock. You need to go find your own reasons if you love SoFi or any other company. You can do this strategy on pretty much any stock out there, okay? And I actually have a put expiring today at the time of me recording this video, a cash secured put on SoFi, which I will most likely end up just closing out here at open. So we will see what happens. As many of you know, I don't like letting my cash secured puts sit till expiration. I kind of baby those and get them immediately out of close them up, free up my collateral. Even if I have to give a few bucks back, I don't let them go through expiration. There's a lot of weird things that can happen after market close for that hour where you can end up getting assigned. So be careful out there, okay? So here, let's go over to the options chain and show you guys what I'm doing. So basically what I'm doing is I'm doing this weekly wheel strategy on here. And the reason we need a volatile stock is because, right, we want to get in and out of trades fast, okay? Now, this is definitely not, I would say, a strategy for the busy professional. Like a lot of people in our community, they let everything go to expiration. They don't really care, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. But, you can really, be, I don't want to say day trader, but you could, the more time you put into like the wheel strategy and like, you want to do it like daily, like you can get in and out of stuff pretty quickly, especially if you're watching the market. Maybe you have some automated, buy to close order set up for yourself. But with a stock like SoFi, for example, the way I kind of do this is, as best as I can, usually doesn't happen, right, is I like to sell my covered calls at the top or as close to the top as possible and sell my cash secured puts at the bottom as close to the possible. So also, if it's at the middle, I do my best to, again, try to hit my my target as best as I can. So, for example here, right, here, most of these trades, look, this was only been, about a month, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6 today. All of these contracts, for the most part, especially the ones where you see that are under 8% captured, were closed out quite literally, not the Coca-Cola one, this one right here, the Coca-Cola one was a different trade that I did, but these right here, I closed out in a matter of days. Now, why was that able to happen, right? Well, number one, right, because SoFi had moved. So I had a 25 and 26.50 put that I'd open on 1-2. So let's go take a look at the chart here. Where are you? 1-2. So we were right around here, right? Right around this mark right here. So I opened up my put and take a look what happened. I'm no market reader. It was a 27, right? Trading at 27, right? Right at the middle Bollinger Band. I open up the puts, and what do you know? Literally like this over the next few days, it not even next few days, jumped up to 29. I immediately was able to close out my cash secured put immediately, right? Closed early, expire worthless, whatever you want to the way you want to look at it. Obviously not expire worthless. I would be letting it go to expiration, which again is not a good idea for your cash secured puts. Do what you want, but you are going to get burned eventually with something called pin risk. Okay, it's not about expiring worthless. It's about closing your positions out early. And if you want all of these trade logs and stuff like that to keep yourself organized, plus my 2 premium calculators here, guys, they are completely for free. You can attend the Ark Options Strategy workshop, and I give them to you completely for free, no strings attached at the very end. So that's the first link in the description of today's video. But with that said, right, that's why usually I am fine giving back a good chunk of premium on these, right? So if with SoFi right here, right, I only collected, what, 72 bucks. I was fine giving back about 50 bucks of premium because it was the same day, right? Literally the same, like this, the next day, I already had captured like 50, 60, almost 50% of my premium. I was completely fine giving back and making a 1%, almost 1% on my money in the span of a day. That's the way I like to look at it, right? I will get in and out of a position as quickly as possible as long as it hits my return on collateral targets. Now, so usually with like dividend boring paying stocks, if I'm running them, I'm usually trying to aim for like a 2% monthly, right? If I'm doing like a SoFi here, right? SoFi or Snapchat here, even like Fiverr, I'm trying to push that as best as I can, but I will still take lower if I can get out close to my target, my 2% target, and get into a different opportunity. That's how I gauge it, okay? But with that said, let's go take a look at SoFi options chain real quick. So for example, today, most likely, I'm going to close out my position. I'm going to open up another position on SoFi, okay? So I'm going to close out my position here. What are we at in pre-market here? A little bit green, up 0.5%. I'm going to assume I'm going to be able to close out my 26 put here right at open. I'll close that out. Hopefully, if I get assigned, fantastic. I will gladly get assigned. I literally want to get assigned a SoFi here, even at 26, so I could do my covered calls on this thing. But with that said, most likely I will not be assigned. And then what am I going to do? Well, for the most part, SoFi, not too much movement here. The past like 2 weeks, it's kind of just been hovering in this 26, 27 range. So we do have to play a little bit closer to the money, right? We're right in that middle RSI, right? We are above our 2 and 300, but look at this. We are below right now, at least at the time of recording this, below our 50-day moving average, which I like, right? We started kind of flattening out a little bit on this 50-day moving average, which to me is fantastic. I love that. I love when a volatile stock is, for the most part, trading flat. Now, again, it does have some crazy swings for sure, but right, that obviously adds to the volatility, gives us more premium. But taking a look at SoFi, so what am I going to do? I'm going to go out to next Friday. I'm going to go out to next Friday, the 23rd. I actually have a bunch of puts for this already in a different account. But with that said, I'm going to do exactly the same thing. I'm going to be looking at either the 2550s or the 26s, depending what I see at open. I am more aggressive here, right? So what I've been doing on this strategy is, not with this account, but with a different one, is I have my covered calls and cash secured puts expiring on the same day, right? So what I do is I have a covered call for the 23rd, right? Well, that's a sell a call, right? For my 23rd expiration date, right? And then I also have a cash secured put, and I usually try to keep them around the same delta range, and I try to thread the needle, right? So with me looking at the SoFi chart right now, with the 50-day moving average between 27, I'm looking at a 50-day moving average, especially with weeklies, a lot more than I give a crap about the 2 and 300-day moving averages, right? Because I'm not going to be able to sell puts at these 2 and 300-day moving averages with a volatile stock like SoFi here, right? That's obvious. I think most of you know that, right? But with that said, I'm playing close to the money here, so I'm going to be most likely, again, just reopening 26s. If we continue to have a green open, I'll capture probably 80 to 90% hopefully of my premium, and then I'll redeploy it. And a $52 of premium, 53 call it, right? Look at this, $53 of premium, 53 bucks of premium, locking up $2,600, right? In a 7-day period, like, come on, that is ridiculous. That is a ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous return. If you don't think that, you're insane. So why do I do this kind of return on a weekly, especially with SoFi, right? Because number one, it's in the middle. It can go either way. Nobody knows what a stock is going to do, but I'm going to be prepared for either situation. If it drops down, cool, I'll be able to close out my covered call. If I go above and I start shooting upwards on the Bollinger Band, I can close out my position, and I have buffer here, right? What do do I mean when I say buffer? Well, I close out most of these as quickly as I humanly possibly can, right? So for example, let's say that SoFi, I open up this position today, it shoots up to like 28, 29, whatever happens, even on Monday, it just, starts to go up for us. Well, this contract will most likely be, starting to get more and more worthless, right? I will most likely be able to close this position out on like a Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday, right? Depending on where the price of SoFi is at the time, but I will be able to close this out, capturing well over 50% of my premium, if not more. So if I look at like, let's say $30, right? I can give back about $20, $23 to close out the position. I will do this trade, right? Yes, annualized, looking at the annualized number, not that that's necessarily always realistic. I look at the annual more so for my 30 days. Right, but if I'm able to close out my position out that early, right, my expiration, let's say it just goes to 4 days instead of 7 now, right? I will gladly close this position out. Why? Because I'm hitting a 1% return on this educational example here. Now that's why you see when you look at the trade log here that I have, right? That's why I'm closing a lot of these out. I don't even care if I go a little bit under 1%. If I even get close to it, I will 100% gladly take that 1%, take my chips off the table, and redeploy that collateral elsewhere. And playing both sides of the trade, meaning selling the call and selling the put around that same price, around the same like delta range, around that 30, 35 to 40, right? I'm kind of threading the needle here, right? So if I go to the sell calls, let's see, right? So if I do like the 2750s, right? It really depends. The call side, I'm a little bit more aggressive on, because I don't care if I sell the shares. But when we're towards the middle of the Bollinger Band, I try to be as even as possible. That way I can play it on both directions. So like the 27.5s will be my call side, and then the 26s would be my put side. And that way I'm really playing both sides of that coin. I know we went over a lot of stuff today, guys. Attend the Ark Options Workshop, especially if you're like a brand new person getting into all this. I probably went through a lot of this stuff a little bit too fast. But again, this is one of those things where you just immerse yourself in this. So attend the Ark Options Strategy Workshop. The link will be down below in the description of today's video. It's about 2 hours long. Going to walk you through how to take the wheel strategy to the next level, whether you're a beginner or a veteran. And then at the end, I also give you my cash secured put and my premium calculators, no strings attached, completely for free. And I talk about our OSS mastermind as well at the end of that training. If you're looking for an incredible, lively, very lively community that talks about all things option selling, we would gladly welcome you to that. I talk more about that at the end of the Ark Options Strategy Workshop, guys. Remember, sell options, collect premiums, repeat. I'll see y'all tomorrow.